Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The New York teams are back. The Central struggling a little bit. Good news, people. It's the end of the dog days. Let's do it. Jose Quintana looking.
Well, you and Jose Quintana? Mickey Gasper.
Oh, Sir, touch them all, Mickey. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It's August 29th, so literally the dog days of August. This will be the last ep that we're putting out. It's going to be September. It's playoff chase time. Is the playoff field set? I didn't mention the West Coast on the intro because you know one man's always going to bring it up. Announcing his political run, it's Trevor Plouffe.
Me and Mark Teixeira.
Funny, we talked about him last episode, and then he really took the headlines. I brought him up when we were talking about those MVP votes. He finished second one year, and now...
Asking what's in his basement.
We did a basement check on Teixeira, and now we've got some more ideas on it.
A lot of Donald Trump memorabilia.
What's going on, Coach?
Oh, man. You know, I'm in a great mood, so that's good for the audience today. I told you, super H'd up, ready to talk ball with you guys. Got a few things coming up here. I'm excited to get back in the broadcast booth for my last couple series. So I'll be doing that next week, meeting the team in Kansas City. Me, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, Sal Perez, whoever's left on the Twins. We're all going to be hanging.
Luke Keeschel. I saw what Matt Wallner did. He
has 20 homers and less than 40 RBI.
Jeez. That's how does Matt Wallner do this every year? That you look at his
he's got pop. Have you seen the guy? He's massive.
I've seen the guy. His swing is kind of violent and twisted, and
he talks shit to me, which I love.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Career 133 OPS plus. Get this guy on the field for 162. That's probably enough Twins talk. Excited for you to go to Wait, you're going to Kansas City like this weekend? Monday?
Next weekend.
Next weekend. That opening weekend NFL, Kansas City, you, Kelsey, Swift.
I'm missing my guy at home. It's tough.
Oh, I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah.
Dude, you might have to look out for that. Are the Chiefs home while you're there? Chiefs, September 14th.
No, I'm there the 4th.
Oh, you're there. They play the Chargers the 5th on the road. You're safe.
I wouldn't be able to go to the game anyway.
I realize you're working, but I was just talking like traffic and stuff. Like, the Chiefs.
Police escort, dog.
I also think, Dwight Howard in the post, dog. It's Friday. MFers. Let's talk some National League ball. We start out with the best team in the National League, the Milwaukee Brewers. They face the Diamondbacks, and they slip up a little bit at the end. They win the first two games. A fun one. Some Snakes Brewers back and forth ball. That was the Snake signature before the year. Milwaukee blows a six-run lead. Snakes come back in that one, but the Isaac Collins walk off to get it done. And then Arizona, a couple comebacks early. They give up the first inning lead, but the Snakes take it back in this one. The Brewers bullpen is becoming a story. We'll probably talk about that a little bit. Don't know how much we'll talk about the D-backs bullpen, but our guy Taylor Rashi, a save in his MLB debut. Have a day, kid. The Cardinals and Pirates split 4. Okay. Started with an Alec Burleson walk-off. Sure, 4 hits on the day, too. Not too shabby, my guy. Let's see. Bubba Chandler is out there for 4-inning performances. I don't know. I've hit my wit's end with the Pirates a long time ago. Cardinals, you've joined that party. I think one of the biggest stories, the New York Mets. They sweep the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm sorry, Schwartz. I don't know if I can talk about the 4-homer game because has it happened yet? Not in this timeline. But Brandon Nimmo's walk-off happened. Luis Torrens' 5 RBI game happened. And Nolan McLean, that is the story. These young Mets pitchers, 8 innings, 0 earned runs, 6 Ks. He's doing historic stuff for them and saving the Mets pitching staff. They have turned into one of the hottest teams in baseball. The Dodgers sweep the Cincinnati Reds in a 3-game set. Emmett Sheehan, hello, how are you? 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 10 Ks himself. And Shohei gets his first nice start on the season, all while Andy Pajes, Michael Conforto with a nice game. Okay. And the Reds, they're kind of the last team fighting. You're going to get the standings, people. Just wait. The Giants, they sweep the Cubs at home. The Cubbies with a little bit of a hiccup. Matt Boyd has slowed down just a little bit. And the Giants finally run into some home wins. Some of the numbers had Trevor Plouffe going through their old box scores to make sure it's right how much the Giants have been losing at home. But a Devers 4-hit, 2-homer day. A Jung-Hoo Lee walk-off on a Logan Webb start. They take all 3 from the Cuberinos. Nobody calls them that. Astros take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies. Got us both with that. Tanner Gordon, have a day. Mickey Moniak, we root for him in this house. The Astros take the final 2 games, including a Framber shut piece with a Yordan homer. That feels a little different, doesn't it? And this is kind of crazy. The Braves take 2 of 3 from the Marlins. And just did a double check in the standings. How have the Marlins had a better year than the Braves? What happened in Atlanta this year? It got ugly quick. Edward Cabrera with a fantastic start. Hey, Jerkson Profar's balling out. I guess you can kind of get excited for next year. Icky. That's what happened in the National League. You got the standings, Coach.
Of course I do, Pop. Great job as always. You did get me on that one. The Cuberinos.
Why not?
Like, I love to hate it. We'll start out east, where, yes, the Mets did some damage to the Phillies lead there, but another game that supposedly didn't happen last night moved it back to 5 games, where the Phillies are at now 77-57 for them, 72-62 for the Mets. 5-game lead, like I said. The rest of you guys, unreal. 63-71 for the Marlins, 61-73 for the Braves, 53-80 for the Nationals. Remember we said they might get to 500. It could be their year. They're not getting to 500, Jake.
Oh. Hey, we had that right in the TPP, man. We were shocked when we looked at that roster.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be better, and then it wasn't.
We were
James
shocked.
Wood.
Good.
Shout out. Cool shirt in our new JM /line.
Nice, Trev. Company man.
Boom. In the Central, best record in baseball, 83-52 for the Brewers. They're 6.5 games up on the Cubs after they got swept by the Giants, 76-58 for them. The Reds, 2 games over 500, just got swept by the Dodgers, 68-66. Cardinals, 66-69. Nice. 59-76 for the Pirates, and for the Dodgers, a 2-game lead over the Padres, 4-game winning streak for them, 77-57 for the Padres, 75-59. The Giants, 2 games under 500, 66-68. The Diamondbacks, a half game behind that, and the Rockies, 38-96. Jake, in the wild card, as it's shaping up right now, the Brewers and I don't know. The Dodgers or the Phillies. Who has these season?
Oh, wow. We're that tight, huh?
Not sure. Those 2 teams would have the bye. Anyways, in the wild card, the Cubs have the number 1 seed. The Padres, number 2. The Mets firmly entrenched in that 3rd wild card spot. The Reds 4 games behind them. That's the only team I can mention because the other 2 teams that are within striking distance are under 500.
Crazy.
The season ended today. The Mets would be hosted by the Phillies.
Whoa.
The Padres would be hosted by the Cubs. Kind of
oh, my God.
People are saying, is that the true Vedder Bowl? Those are the standings in the National League.
Who's people? Who's saying that to you?
I am, because
I know.
if you know Eddie Vedder, you know he's a Cubs fan.
Dude, the National League. Trev, with this great job.
If you know Eddie Vedder.
Can't find a bit of murder. I have so much to talk about, but first let me tell the people about DraftKings. We're here, people. It's the final days of the season, and your baseball people. College football was on last night. Poppy might have misread the Boise game. Anyways, get in on the action with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Baseball, football's coming back. The baseball says a home run. Boom. Pick a team to win. It's easy as that. And DraftKings, it's a great time to get in. New customers who bet $5 get $300 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code JMBaseball. That's code JMBaseball for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Congrats to USF for the pumping they put on Boise. Trev, some National League storylines that just came to my head while you were doing that. The race for second in the National League to get the bye between the Phillies and Dodgers. Massive. Look at the matchups you just laid out. The Cubs, Padres, and Mets are lurking. And then that also brings in the NL West chase, because can the Padres somehow get into that 2 seed? Because, man, I don't want to get into a 3-game matchup with any of those teams. These are all legit teams.
As of right now, Dodgers have lost 2-1-1 against the Phillies. They have a 3-game set coming up September 15th, 16th, and 17th. So if they continue to keep tied, that's a big series. Yeah.
Wow.
So what do they do? I mean, that's 6 games. So if they're tied after that, then who knows?
I'm sure we could easily read it, and then I don't know if we'd be happy with the results. I remember one year it was like how you did in your division. I don't know if that's still
Bobby,
holds.
we gotta look up the second tiebreaker for that, please. I know it's head-to-head, and what?
Trev, there's been a couple series. Well, the Yankees and Mets have been covering for each other. We had a socials clip do pretty well the other day, because Mets and Yankee fans have been scared to talk baseball for 2 months. Normally, trash-talking fan base has been like, don't bring up my team. Don't bring up my team. There's been a couple eps. I was like, ooh, maybe we should have talked some Mets some more. We could talk some Mets right now because a big sweep over the Phillies. And I was surprised, Trev, when I talked to you before the episode. I was like, man, there's not a ton of juicy series. I was like, Mets-Phillies. And you were like, was that juicy or was that a pumping? I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies have been, obviously it's been talked about a lot. Going into Citi Field has not been kind for the Phillies whatsoever. But the Mets, man, a couple things have been going really right for them. Like, they found some offense. And again, like, this is a team that should have a good offense. And, for, the better part of the season, I would say they'd underachieved offensively. And all of a sudden now we got guys like Mark Vientos coming back from the dead, dude, to really lead this team. And what a story that would be for them.
Right.
This guy who, we thought was going to take the next step and be this stalwart at third base hasn't really worked out that way this year, but he started to really get going. Juan Soto's doing his thing. Francisco Lindor's doing his thing. Nimmo with some nice games as well. But then we can also talk about the pitching staff, which was, a cause for concern. Besides David Peterson, nobody could go long into games. Now, all of a sudden, we're getting these reinforcements. Nolan McLean looks like the real deal. 3 starts in, but the way he spins that ball is absolutely nasty. He's got that sinker as well, keeping the ball in the ballpark. Can he be like, the savior of the pitching staff? We got a guy pitching tonight, Jonah Tong, another one of their prospects coming up. So, like, that would be an awesome story for Mets fans is, hey, we had this team on paper at the beginning of the season. It was supposed to be awesome. We're a pitching factory. Didn't work out that way this year with some of the guys that they signed. But, hey, we have prospects that we're bringing up. They're going to take us into the promised land. I mean, if you're relying on those guys in the postseason, I don't know how that's going to work out. Rookies in the postseason scares me. But these guys are filthy. This isn't like, hey, this guy's come up and, like, had a few nice starts, missed some bats. It's like, no, this guy's got real deal stuff in McLean. So I'm excited to see Tong tonight. I would love that to be a storyline, like the resurgence of a Mark Vientos. a late push by the offense, and then these young guys, coming and doing their thing. Obviously, the bullpen, can be one of the best in all of baseball. So they have the recipe now to go on this run, get hot at the right time. And if you're a Mets fan, I think you're feeling pretty good right now.
The Mets, again, they were in scary territory with the Reds. We kept waiting for the episode where it was like the Reds are in the playoffs, the Mets aren't, and maybe we'll get there in a second. Trev, I'm not normally the stat guy, but there's a few screaming off the page, and it's everything you just talked about. The Mets have won 10 straight at home against the Phillies. That's crazy. That's crazy. Some Mets OPS leaders. Shout out to Dalton on the sheet here. Since August 12th, so a little over 2 weeks, since August 12th, Vientos 1.2ing OPS-wise. Lindor 1.1. Beatty 1. Marte in the 9s. Nimmo in the high 8s. McNeil in the 8s. Cedric Mullins in the high 7s. That's something that's new there. So the Mets needed something different to happen. It's starting to happen with some of their young players and just overall hitting. Like you mentioned, it always felt like their team was their pitching came out of the gates incredible. The hitting felt like there was another gear there. Maybe they're finding that. And with the pitching, they kind of ate it for a while. I mean, this McLean dude, if people, we haven't kind of explained the show to people in a while because we're just, we're grooving. When we do standout performers in our awards, we like to do guys we haven't talked about a lot previous in the episode. We like to share the wealth at Talkin' Baseball. Nolan McLean was going to be my standout because how could he not be? First Mets pitcher to win his first 3 major league starts. Retired 15 straight in this one. The second Mets pitcher this year to get an out in the 8th inning. It'd only been David Peterson. And now it's Nolan McLean. And Trev, how can you not he's throwing 4 pitches over 16% of the time. That's something you always talk about. Like, sure, guys haven't had a look at this cat yet, and when major leaguers do, they adjust. But when you have 4 pitches, that makes it so difficult because you can't sit on something. So the whole Mets recipe makes sense right now.
Wake Forest.
Oh.
Which people were shocked that I didn't know that was in North Carolina. Is it in North Carolina?
Yes, it's in the mix there with like Duke and North Carolina. Like it's a nice little college area down there.
I didn't go to college. I'm a dummy.
Oops. And that's all he has to say about that.
Yeah, basically. Look, I'm excited for the Mets. Hey. I want this to be a race. I want them to make it a deal against the Phillies. Again, they're 5 games back, okay? In the grand scheme of things, 30 games left, a little under 30 games left. Making up 5 games is incredibly tough. Now they have 3 more against them. I believe it's 3 at Citizens Bank Park. So, hey, can you go in there and do your thing? Sure. But to make up 5 games is very, very tough in that time period, unless the Phillies just go on some absolutely horrific losing streak. But I would like to see them make it close. And hey, things obviously can happen. I'm not saying it's not possible. But if you're a Mets fan, you just have to be stoked that the momentum is turning. The one thing I'll say is if they could get Senga back to kind of like his form, then you could really dream about a postseason run here. Peterson, Senga, McLean, and then whatever you need to do after that. But getting Senga back kind of to where he was in the first half would be massive for them.
Their postseason games are going to be fun because I think they're going to have the pieces to pitch. It's just how are they going to put it together? And their manager, Carlos Mendoza, that's something we start looking at that I think that's going to be a fascinating storyline for them because, man, there's a lot of guys in that bullpen that have pitched in big games. There's a lot of guys in that rotation that that it's going to be very interesting. What were you saying, Bobo?
They got 4 games left.
4 games left.
Phillies, Monday,
4 games set.
September 8th through the 11th.
There we go. Take your tiebreaker and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
That's going to be fun. And Phillies, hey, you know what Schwarber did, not in our timeline, in our simulation. But yeah, you got to figure out that Mets thing at some point.
You know what? I forgot to mention Clay Holmes being part of that. I knew I was
Yeah.
missing somebody. Yeah, he's been great.
Big old
He's been
Clay.
very consistent.
The Dodgers sweep the Reds. I mentioned that National League. Well, everything we're talking about, the Dodgers in a race for that 2 seed behind Milwaukee. The Reds, kind of the last team we've been holding on hope for in 4 games. End of August, like it's starting to get tougher and tougher. And hey, it's a West Coast road trip, and you're playing the Dodgers, so those are games you didn't necessarily have in your mental piggy bank. But getting swept is tough. Trev, what'd you see?
I think if you're the Reds, you looked like, hey, we could go in there and do this thing. If you look at the pitching matchups, you got your guys going, Green, Martinez, and Lodolo. Stoked on that. I mean, the Reds have starting pitching. Didn't do well in this series. I guess you have to tip your cap to the Dodgers, and you have to even, congratulate Sheehan for a great start. Kershaw continues to do it. That's like my favorite storyline of the season is, does Kershaw get a playoff start for the Dodgers? I can't wait to see what happens there. Yeah, they got to get going quickly. Offense has to get going. 4 runs in a 3-game set here against the Dodgers. Not going to do it. So that's it, man. Like, they have the pitching to go on a run. Again, the hour is late. The hour is late, Jake, right now for this team. And I hope we're not looking back at the 2025 season like, the Reds were so close. They were so fucking close, and it just didn't make it happen.
Well, sometimes, and a reminder to everyone, you guys know your team better than us. That's a talking baseball rule. But, if I said doing something, if I described a baseball thing as doing something like the Reds, it would be me reading Noelvi Marte got his first start in center field, and there was a big play that happened that helped lose them the game. So, like stuff like that freaks me out sometimes. That I never looked at Noelvi Marte and said center field. He's got a little bit of meat on the bone. At the same time, we've been critical of the Dodgers for doing stuff like that. Remember Gavin Lux in center field. That if you win, it feels smart in the Dodgers. If it doesn't, it feels a little more Redsy. And we're talking about putting together your pitching. You mentioned Kershaw, Emmett Sheehan. 7 shut and kind of mean about it. With the relievers they're getting back, their postseason pitching plan is going to start to get interesting. Oh, yeah, and that Shohei guy with 5 innings, 1 earned. That matters.
A lot of Dodgers fans have been saying Shohei's not going to get a start. I'm like, why wouldn't he get a start? The Shohei rule only applies if you start. He can't come in a game. He can't be this reliever that you think he's going to be. I know they've discussed it, but I think they've discussed it and said that sounds silly to me. So he's going to get a start, people. It's whether or not he's stretched out enough to take you into the 7th. I'm assuming by the time the playoff starts, he will be. But that's interesting to look at. I love Terry Francona's quote about Noelvi Marte putting him in center field. He said, it's a work in progress. If you're going to criticize someone, I'd rather you criticize me for playing him there because I think the kid's doing a good job. It wasn't perfect, but I think there's a really good outfielder out there. That's a fucking manager, bro.
Right? Tito gets in front of it, takes the blame. Yeah. Yes. Tito obviously said it much better than me. I have a little more Dodgers chatter coming up in a little bit on a player I'd like to highlight. Trev, in the National League, I think the last kind of top storyline that comes from a funky series, D-backs at Brewers, the Brewers have slowed down. We knew they had to slow down because they were winning every game in front of them. Some of those Brewer splits were literally blowing our mind. They're 5-8 since the end of the 14-game win streak. So again, if you still attach those numbers, that's 19-8, which is really damn good. But they're 5-8 coming out of that, and a lot of them in 7 of the 8 losses, they've lost the lead. And the bullpen, I think there's some storylines forming out there. Abner Uribe has the most appearances in baseball. McGill, we've seen him slip up a little bit. That I think if you're the Brewers and you're wondering about your postseason plans, that is where all eyes are right now.
I still think the Brewers have a very capable back end of the bullpen. McGill's hurt, so he's not going to be around until September. He's got a light flexor strain. They said his best case scenario, he's going to take his, minimum time. That's what his plan is. We'll see how that goes. I'd rather him just like rest this thing, get ready, be ready for October. You're going to be in the playoffs. So I think they have a capable back end of the bullpen. It's really been kind of like the middle relief, the plan B guys that have been giving it up. So you're going to pare that down during the postseason anyway. I have no issues with the Brewers and what they're doing. I think they're going to be extremely ready to go on this postseason run. I don't, especially if McGill is back and closing games out for them. I think that's important to watch. From everything we've heard so far, he should be fine. He tried to pitch through it, just a little irritation. Wanted to take some time before the playoffs, but I'm 100% not worried. I think the Diamondbacks are, like, for what their record is, they're still a pretty damn good team. Bobo, I wanted you to have this up. It's actually on the sheet. There's a great play by Lourdes Gurriel Jr. To cut down a double, to basically save the game. Yeah. As the Brewers could have then, won 3 games in a row, possibly, if they tied it up. But a nice play by Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Cuban ball player. I love that, so I had to shout him out. So yeah, a split with the D-backs. Here it is right here. Get there. Monasterio's trying to go. And there's a freaking hose right here, baby.
On the bag.
Love that throw. Love that play. 3-2 ball game right there in the 9th. Keep a guy off second base. It's a big-time play right there. Gets around the ball, kids. So he gets around that thing, gets his momentum going to second base, and just an absolute bullet right there.
Look at that. Andrew Salfrank. People forget the man.
Fired up.
The man so nice.
Eric Fetty on the Brewers. How about that?
Yeah, again, the Brewers have a very different final month than a lot of other teams because they've put in their work. But yeah, I'm just interested to see. Like, McGill, there's now a slight question mark. I think that's fair enough to say. And I don't know if you got to start worrying about Uribe's usage and things like that. That I don't know. These are all first world problems. Well, the Snakes, yeah, man, you look around and you're still like, I like a lot of this talent.
I guess okay, let's just talk about the Brewers a little bit, because I have my Yelly shirt on. Another, like, Mizorowski, like, what's he going to be? Because when he's on and he's a stud, you're talking about some of the best stuff in the game.
Right.
And maybe I jumped the gun a little bit early on, and because I saw him just absolutely torch my Twins. I had him very high up on the pitcher rankings list. He's come back down to earth a little bit. I think it's always going to be location for him. He has the stuff, but can you locate it? What he looks like at the end of the season and into the postseason is going to determine a lot for the Brewers.
They've got some fun pitching stuff. Woodruff, Peralta, Quintana's always there. I forgot this one. This almost not related. Tobias Myers, who was their breakout guy last year, in their bullpen right now. I forgot he was traded when he was a minor leaguer for Junior Caminero.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what was in 2021? Tobias Myers for Caminero.
Well, Caminero was what, 14 years old?
Yeah, I mean, how old?
2021, he was 17.
Yeah, 17 or 18. So that's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Scouting. What the hell is that?
I mean, a lot of it's a coin flip,
right? That's why we still don't know. Let's see. In the rest of the National League, Trev, I think the only series that really deserves some love. It's getting late in the year, people. Like Rockies, Houston. I don't know. Braves, Miami. The Giants have a nice sweep at home. They're dead. They're not dead, but they're dead. And I guess maybe the storyline is the Cubbies getting swept here, but there was a lot of good performances. Devers with a 4-hit day. Logan Webb, per usual, and the Giants winning at home. Those stats put us both in a blender.
Yeah, read that stat again.
I wanted you to read it because I struggle with it. The Giants improved to 15-26 over their last 41 home games. So 15-26 with the game 1 win. So the math changes after this. It was their third win in the last 18 games at home. So that means a 3-15 at home after you just traded for a new $300 million player. That feels bad.
It's so bad because I got the game logs up. Lost 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. That was right before the All-Star break. And then they got back home July 25th. 6 straight L's to the Mets and then Pittsburgh.
Oh,
that's going in. I mean, they already traded for Devers. Okay, that's going right into the trade deadline. And then they came back, went on the road, came back, won the first game against the Nationals. Then they took 2 L's, so they lost that series. Got swept by the Padres, then lost 2 or 3 to the Rays, all at home. I mean, it's been a nightmare for them. And then really, if you look at all those games, they just haven't scored any runs whatsoever. Shout out Logan Webb and Shota Imanaga for putting on in that last game. You wanted it to be a pitcher's duel. It was. Then you get the Jung-Hoo Lee walk-off, which is awesome.
Ball hits him on the helmet coming home. They get the extra run. Willie with the multi-homer game. Giants end the year exciting. Get us ready for next year. And Trev, I have been keeping an eye on our over-unders. Giants are a very interesting one. I think their over-under was like 80.5. And they're trending right around it. So that's going to be a tight one. Cubbies. How about you mentioned Imanaga? He's one of my favorite players to pitch ever. So that's something. Cubs fans, listen to that. Now turn your ears off. After looking at the Dodgers, Mets, and Brewers pitching, and I guess the Padres as well, the Cubs might have my least favorite pitching in the National League playoffs. Is that horribly rude?
There's a couple stats here that might say differently.
I mean, that's
the Cubs rotation leads Major League Baseball in ERA since July 1st.
They perform. I'm kind of going off name value, which I'm calling myself out right now.
Talk about Matthew Boyd like that.
He slipped up a little bit.
Yeah, he slipped up his last 4 starts. Fine.
He slipped up a little bit. Maybe I just need to get over the name value because I'm a Daniel Palencia man. That boy thick.
Those cheese, bro.
Those cheese.
Don't leave it over the plate, though.
Is there anything else you need to say, whether it's Pirates, Cards, Rocks, Astros, Braves, Marlins?
Cade Horton, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the way he's been pitching, he deserves more respect.
Put some respect on Shota.
I love Shota.
Matthew Boyd, Cade Horton, and you know what? I could fix Ben Brown. I'm just saying.
Whoa. I can fix him.
Ben Brown, Gavin Williams, same guy. I can fix both of them.
Ooh, a little more meat on Gav.
Yeah.
A little more neck on Ben. Anyways.
Hey, Ben Brown's 6'6".
He's one that might still be growing, too. That might be a camp next year, Ben Brown's 6'8".
He's turning 26 September 9th, so I don't know if he's still growing.
I don't know. The discs, I don't know. Height's never been a thing for me.
I could fix him. That's like a toxic relationship,
Fix him. He's different with me. Let's do some American Liga. In the AL, a team I mentioned at the top, I hope, because they deserved it, because they're winning a ton of ball games, and they are your best Western Road Warriors. It's time for Road Warriors, brought to you by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. It's your Boston Red Sox, the Sox Kid. How about a 7-1 roadie topped off by a 4-game sweep of the Orioles? The Orioles, they gave up a couple late, or maybe the Red Sox took a couple back late. But how about this Red Sox big three that is forming? Lucas Giolito is shoving the second best ERA in the AL since June 10th. And at 4th and 5th, it's Bello and Crochet. These Red Sox have something brewing, and it's also Roman Anthony. He hits his second career leadoff homer. Watch out for this dude. Watch out for this team as they went on the road and got it done against the Orioles. The Mariners and Padres played 3. World Series preview? talent-wise, we could talk about it. The Mariners take 2 out of 3 in the Eddie Vedder Bowl. Cal Raleigh hit his 50th. He got a guitar because of it. Sick. Padres, they win their only game against San Diego this year in the middle one. 7-6. The Seattle comes back in that game. I don't know, man. Their offense can do it now, and that's why we like them. And they get it done in that final game, although San Diego came back latte. The Tigers and the A's faced off in Sacramento. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. The Athletics are playing really good baseball. They are hitting the ball around the yard. Shea Bang Jaliers, Kurtz, Nick. Soderstrom is one-dotting again. Trev's mad at me because he wants to talk a lot about them, so I'll save it. Guardians and Rays, the Caminero Bowl, as some are calling it. The Guard Dogs took 2 out of 3. Parker Messick with a nice start. Electric. Ian Seymour with 5 clean. Electric. I don't know. Kyle Nolan, Will Wilson. What do you guys want to hear about? I wasn't locked into this series. Yanks sweep the Nats. And if you want me to be yelling from the rafters, I won't. The Nats product was kind of tough, except Mackenzie Gore, who gave a good effort, but Giancarlo Stanton was better. The big fella looks awesome this year. That's what you need to know, and maybe learn Cam Schlittler's name, because he looks like a baby glass now. Yanks sweep the Nats. They homered a lot against them. They do that against the lesser teams. The Blue Jays take 2 out of 3 from the Minnesota Twins, as you heard about to start the show. Man, Jimenez, Kirk, Lucas, they got to Joe Ryan in that first game, kind of setting the tone. The Minnesota Moose, Matt Wallner, did everything he could in these games. So did Mickey Gasper, mentioned early in the show. And you might hear a little Davis Schneider coming up, 2-homer day from him. The Rangers take 2 out of 3 from the Halos to stay alive while being dead. You'll see them in the standings. Zach Neto still bringing it every damn day at the ballpark. And how about 20 runs in that final game from Texas, letting out all their offensive frustration from the year in one game. The Royals, they take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. White Sox took that first game. Shane Smith, how's your 7 innings, 1 hit? I see you, young man. Corey Lee is back in homering. After that, a couple big pinch hit appearances. Massey and Isbell for Kansas City helping change that game. And Ryan Berger, did you remember he got traded to KC with a nice start and a 12-1 blowout win? That is what happened in the American League.
And a boy, Jakey. I got the standings. They are right here. In the American League East, the Blue Jays took 2 or 3 from my Twins. They're still 3.5 games up on the Red Sox, 78-56 for the Blue Jays, 75-60 for the Red Sox. The Yankees a half game behind them at 74-60. Rays 64-69. Baltimore 60-74. So tight race atop the AL East, I'll say. Although again, we're getting late. We're like, you think these are tight races, but it's gonna take a lot.
Yeah.
Take a lot. The Detroit Tigers could probably pop champagne. They're winning the AL Central, 8.5 games up, even though they're on an L4. 78-57 for them, 69-65 for the Royals. Nice. They've been winning ball games. The Guardians 66-66, right at 500. The Twins 60-73, and the White Sox 48-86. And then out west, the Houston Astros have had a 2-game lead over the Mariners for like the last 3 months.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just been a 2-game lead and it hasn't really changed. 74-60 for the Astros, 72-62 for the Mariners. The Rangers 1 game over 5, 68-67. They're 6.5 games back there. The A's 63-72 and the Angels 62-71 in the wild card. Jake, as of right now, the Blue Jays and the Tigers would have the bye. The Houston Astros would be hosting the Seattle Mariners. The Boston Red Sox have the number 1 spot over your Yanks, so they will be hosting the series against them. Kansas City 3 games back of the Mariners for that final wild card spot, and the Rangers 4.5 games back for the spot as well. Those are the standings in the American League.
Nobody better, Coach Trev. Maybe the one thing that is Best Western and their hotels and resorts. Life's a trip. Why not make the most of it? 4,000 hotels worldwide. So wherever you're going, there's going to be a Best Western around. Give it a look. We did this year. We went to the one in Chicago. We're going back to Chicago, end of the month, staying at the same one. Best Western. Traveling is not one size fits all. It's for the planners and the procrastinators. However you do it, solo, with a big group, one friend, maybe someone else. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. Bang. Trevor, in the American League. There's a couple big ones here. Let's stay out east and where we started with the Red Sox because they deserve it. A huge little road trip. I know it's New York and Baltimore, so it's not the most travel plans necessarily, but a 7-1. And dude, these Red Sox pitching stats are kind of some of the hype train that you were on, especially to start the year.
Yeah, on our sheet right now, we got the best team ERA since June 10th. I went back to, I think even before that.
Okay.
And they've just been throwing the ball. They've been doing it. We're talking about these guys. We're talking about Giolito, like rounding into form. He's had some really, really nice starts. Crochet's been that way all year long. Brian Bayo's been great. They have a formula. I keep talking about this dang Red Sox team. And just the ability to win in a bunch of different ways. You talked about accountability defensively between Jarren Duran and Rafael. A ball falls in between them. They end up winning that game anyway. But after the game, both were like, I should have caught it. It was my fault. That's the stuff you want to hear.
Yeah.
Even if it's not true. And then in the clubhouse, they're like, hey, you should have caught that. No, you should have caught that. At least they're saying the right thing.
Well, I don't
think that actually happened.
They did a little better than that because Duran came out and said, I should have caught it. And Rafael is like, yeah, I thought he had it. So that's kind of that's.
But I'm on Duran's side. I mean, Rafael gets to everything. So
right?
You hear his footsteps coming, you get the hell out of the way. That's what you're supposed to do.
You have that moment of, should I catch it or that guy catch it? And you're kind of like, that guy catches everything. So I do get it. But the responsibility, refreshing.
Defense coming into play for the Red Sox is so awesome because they have everything else in spades. We just talked about Aroldis Chapman on Wednesday's episode and how freaking good he's been. So they have a back end of the bullpen getting the job done. They have these starters getting the job done. We know their offense can go. There was a play, bottom 5, game 4. Crochet, I believe is it 3? No, that was a school thing. Crochet gets second and third, gives up a double to Gunnar Henderson. And then Trevor Story makes this unreal play to get out of the inning. It's the diving play to his left. They end up doubling the runner at third base off. Bob, if you got it up, it's a
game-saving play.
This is the stuff that, I'm not going to say this is how the good teams do. This is the stuff that creates a sweep that gets you rolling into these big, long winning streaks as plays like this that could totally change the game. Still waiting on the play. There it is. Wham. And they're playing infield in.
Yeah.
Contact play going, and Story just dives to his left. He's been between him and Bregman, man, just two really, really cool stories out there in Boston. They seem like they just totally fit. It's been so fun to watch the Red Sox play. I'm very, very high on this team, as you know.
Another signature part of that play is Bregman casually pimping it at the end. That's just what we do. Let's get off the field, boys. Yeah, dude, Story has been a revelation for them. If that ball gets by, we don't even flinch. You're just like, well, that was a bullet. Mountcastle pieced it, and the infield was in. That's it. Instead, it keeps them in it. They win it. They're winning with offense, pitching, and defense. How about that? The old recipe.
You mentioned it. Going 7-1 on a trip, an interdivision trip, is awesome.
That's they're here, man. And yeah.
Do they play the Blue Jays anymore? I'm gonna look that up right now.
I want to say they have one more Blue Jays series. It feels like everyone's playing the Orioles, that they kind of control the East sneakily.
as of right now, I mean, they've gone 3-7 against Toronto, which means they got 3 games left.
Yeah.
But they've lost the season series already to them. So they play the Blue Jays at Toronto, the penultimate series.
I obviously have my biases. If Toronto, we talked some NL storylines a little bit. If Toronto gets pulled back to the pack, which I don't believe in, they look amazing. But if the Red Sox and Yanks were to pull them in, the second seed or potentially the first seed in the American League could be up for grabs for like 4 teams. And then all the playoff seeding we're talking about. Again, this is just for storylines. I'm not saying that. Because right now it's pretty much just seeding. Like the teams are kind of locked in. Although we should be talking about Houston and Seattle more, but like you mentioned, how has it been this? It feels like it's been the same thing.
Yeah, Jordan finally hit. He hit a home. Not finally. He hits a homer coming off the IL. I don't know, man. I still think the Red Sox are the team to beat.
Interested
in the AL.
I want to see the final month. Call me old fashioned. Yeah, and that accountability stuff you talked about. Cover years for 25 seconds on the Yankees. Aaron Boone with another quote today about Volpe saying, "In what planet would he ever be sent down?" I don't know, dog. This one.
This one?
There's a reason why everyone's asking you.
Does he know that how many planets there actually are?
I don't think so.
There's actually infinite planets.
I'll start with that next week. That'll get us off to a really good start. Trev, I think there's 2 other juicy series, but I know there's a big A's talk coming up later, people. Padres Mariners. And I did when I was getting ready this morning. I was like, this is rude to the uniforms, but this feels like a video game World Series. Like the Padres have waited for theirs. The Mariners have finally put the lineup together that, like, if this was the video game simulation, you'd be like, oh, this is sick. I like the unis, West Coast, Cal Raleigh, Fernando. I need to see both of them in reality, but this was fun baseball.
It is fun baseball. I guess the Padres fans probably wouldn't say that. They went 1-5 against the Mariners this year. Yeah. It's kind of been, they've been big brother to them, if you will. Game 2, the one that the Padres did win, they scored 5 off in the first off Luis Castillo.
Yep.
Who I think if you're a Mariners fan, you got to be concerned a little bit about the velo dropping. It's been down and he gets hit here. The Mariners come back. They score 6 runs in the 5th inning, but then you're going to talk a little bit later about how the Padres retook the lead, which was really just awesome fundamental baseball. But in the end, the Mariners get the job done. I believe, was that last series that no, this is it. Brian Wu finally doesn't go 6 innings pitched. That's a storyline.
Broken. 5.2.
5 2/3.
What a sick
but these are big games, so you have to manage that way. And I think it just deserves a little bit of snaps, Brian Wu, for doing that. In this day and age, man, going deep in the ball games means something. So shout out Brian Wu for getting the job done all year long. But a fun one, Eugenio Suarez. Big homer there in the 3rd game. Cal Raleigh gets to 50. I mean, it's just, this was a fun baseball series.
Dude, I'm a little, I guess, check me on this. Eugenio, and maybe it's what's going on around him, like Schwarber gets to 49, Raleigh's at 50. Maybe it's something with him being traded. Dude, Gino's got 42, and I feel like we've kind of, after the trade deadline, he's been lost in the ethos a little bit. Maybe because he was slumping, but like this homestand, he hits 3 homers. 42 home runs is nuts. Like it's August. I know the problem is we do this with Cal Raleigh too, and he got 50.
What's Gino's market going to look like in the offseason? I'm so curious.
Man, there's a couple dudes who have made themselves show Gino doing the eyes out to the bullpen again, because This is what sports is about. How slow he's jogging and then giving himself fake hand glasses. That's sports.
He hasn't performed really well with the Mariners. 25 games, a 189 BA, 693 OPS, buoyed by some homers there with the slug. But is Rhys Hoskins like the originator of giving the bullpen some love on a home run trot? I think he is.
I think so. I think
now everybody does it.
Now you have to. If you don't, you're
unless you're Mickey Gasper.
Right. Head down.
Head down.
Nobody. I don't want to show up.
Yeah, that's there's so many things that, like, Giancarlo Stanton starts wearing the freaking C flap on the helmet because he gets hit in the face. Right. Everybody starts wearing it. Yep. Rhys Hoskins chucks I think it's like the "I love you" sign.
Yeah.
Up to the boys in the bullpen, and now everybody's giving freaking whatever you want to do to the bullpen out there. Yeah. What have you done in your life, Jake?
Whoa. On a funny note, because I'm a person that, in a way, I've done nothing with my life. In a way, we've created a pretty cool thing here. I'd say once a year I get caught in a combo with like a tech bro I don't like, and then I spin the John Boy Media conversation. I'm like, yeah, we have a 60-person company now, middle of Manhattan, big office. It's whatever, and they go back and they're like, oh, I'm at a 7-person startup. I thought a Bitcoin. Like, get out of here. I got one silver stock, dude.
Hey, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Hold on.
Okay.
Get my train of thought back.
Mariners, me showing off to a tech bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot. It'll come back.
Damn it.
Dang.
I have my award is from the series, so a little more of a tease there. Ramon Laureano goes up to second in yesterday's lineup, so we're testing stuff. And dude, something that feels different about this Mariners team. They go down 5-0. They hit 2 3-run homers. That's not how we've talked about Mariners teams. So that feels different. And I like that come October. Got a little rowdy there at the end.
Everyone kind of hit some homers. The Padres hit some homers. What was that? In game 1, they hit 4 homers. They've been like, one of the worst teams in that regard. And I said this, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Is it regression to the mean? And all of a sudden they're going to start hitting homers? In September, they're just going to go off. Doesn't that seem right?
It would be good for the script. It would be good. It would be good for the postseason storylines. Trev, I think the final big AL series, which I'll let you dance around a little bit. What happened to Detroit versus the A's was definitely something. I mean, the home run off Scooble by Bangaliers, and a great call.
We can talk about that. We can talk about
great
that.
Call by Jenny Kavner. I think I got that right. And she's gotten some critique online before, whether fair or not. Had a exciting call on that, and it should be. I mean, he gets Scooble for the grand slam to, like, we've seen that move pay off for the Tigers, keeping that guy in. Obviously, it doesn't here.
The whole story behind that, if you missed it on Monday, Scoobs gives up a foul homer, a foul ball, and the A's production side ran like the lights, like they hit a homer. So he wasn't happy about that. Ends up getting out of that inning, goes back to the dugout, and just, is like, roll the lights. Like he's pissed, like he's Scoobs, man.
And on the mound, he has that persona, and it works.
Yeah, so they play the lights go off. He strikes, I think he strikes him out. Is that Langoliers right there? Yeah. I believe it is. So he's saying, roll the lights, whatever it is. Then here it is.
I like that.
Does he have a limp?
I think he's got a pimp walk, dude. I think like off the field, it's like Tarek Scooble, nice to meet you. I think on the field, it's like Tarek Scooble. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a limp. It's something going on there. I think one foot's
or one leg wrong. If
he's
banged up, I'd feel bad. But I think he's the guy and he knows it.
He's a stud. I love me some Tarek Scooble. Anyways, yeah, we can talk about that at bat. So he gets bases loaded, strikes 2 guys out, gets a he gets a call, a 3-2 pitch fastball inside, gets that call for a strike
Yeah.
3. And then Langeliers comes up, 2-1 heater, turns on it, grand slam there. And yeah, there was a good call by Jenny. Boom.
96.
But a lot more on the A's coming up. Tigers again. They're fucking coasting to an AL Central title, bro. The only thing they care about now is we want the bye. That's it.
You're coasting, and you say, okay, weird trip to Sacramento. We played horrible defense. Let's just watch the whole thing. Now, doing it sometimes can be harder than that. So let's see what goes on there. Our guy Lawrence Butler, run to first. Run to first, my guy. That's
You don't want to talk about Minnesota at Toronto?
I like Toronto. I think your standout plays for Toronto.
Okay, fine.
If you want some Yanks talk, go listen to Talkin Yanks. They beat up.
Let me just do real quick. Game 3, 40th comeback win of 2025. Yeah. That's the most in the AL for them. They're 58-4 when they score 5 runs. The Blue Jays are. Ty France comes in against his former team. Home run, and then my guy, Barger, who's been struggling, the 2-run double in the bottom. They had to put him up. Hoffman bounced back, gets the save after blowing one, giving up the homer to Wallner in the previous night. So that's good for them. He's kind of been up and down this year. I still think he's up to the task of being that guy for them in the playoffs. So look, the Blue Jays are such a fun team to watch. And Barger getting back to his form will be very big for them as they go, and they're trying to get that bye in the AL.
Toronto, a la Milwaukee, with which we have the big Brew Jays series this weekend, right? I think their questions are starting to become in the bullpen, which I don't know. That's kind of every team's questions come October, because one guy has one bad outing and they might be out for the series. But keep an eye on Hoffman. Keep an eye on the rest of that pen. Trev, I kind of want to go to Standout because I know that he's on Toronto too. And there's a White Sox and Angels series and a Nats series that I like the other teams, but it's almost September, people. Sorry you have a bad team. Let's do Standout.
It's time for Standout Performances. Standout Performances.
Standout Performances.
This guy stood out for Trev.
Say what?
What you got, Coach?
You see this guy in the box. What are you doing?
I think power.
You're right. My standout is from the Toronto Blue Jays, and it is Davis Schneider. On Wednesday, he goes 2 for 3, 2 Jimmy Jacks, both solo shots for the 2 runs driven in. He scores 3 runs, also has a walk. I wanted to shout him out because since coming back to the big league, so he starts off really, really poorly through April 13th, Jake, has one hit through April 13th. Now, he wasn't starting every single game, platooning, bench piece, whatever you want to call it, but one hit. So he gets sent down to the minor leagues. Well, he doesn't come back up until a Dalton Varsho injury, and he comes back up on June 1st. Went down to AAA, made some adjustments, not necessarily mechanical is what he's talking about, but more of mental, saying, I'm not trying to just put the barrel on the ball, contact oriented. He's like, I'm trying to do some fucking damage. Earmuffs. Sorry, I missed that one. So since coming back, 51 games, 276, 378, 551 for the 930 OPS. So Davis Schneider went down, took his medicine, comes back up. He's part of this Blue Jays team. And from that time on, they came over and took over the AL East. He's been a big part of it. And you know what? I think I have an affinity for short kings now too. 5'9".
Yeah, you do.
All over the field. Love this guy. Go Davis Schneider, go.
Well done, Trev. And yeah, I remember when Babe Schneider was happening and he first got called up, we were all just kind of blown away. Last year ends up being a weird year for him. 135 games, 0 WAR, which, we all keep tabs on that. But what does that mean? A 191 batting average. This year, everything's good. The on-base percentage is up. The batting average, the OPS, he is trying to do damage up there, which is ironic of this contact Blue Jays team. But he's swinging violently, and maybe he's becoming my fit. 5'9". He's from New Jersey. 28th round pick out of high school, and just said, all right, let's go.
Didn't even have that round anymore, people.
That's crazy to me. And he's just rocking a big old mustache up in Toronto. And
Shout out Eastern Regional High School. That's the worst name for a high school I've ever heard.
sounds like it's out of a movie.
And and it's like cosplaying for some high school in a movie. Voorhees,
Yeah.
New Jersey.
I think that was the last name of one of the Saved by the Bell actresses.
Voorhees?
I think so. Why would that be in my fucking head? Oh, we missed another bleep. Sorry.
Earmuffs.
Sorry to all the kids that listen.
Ryan Costello, Kevin Doherty, Jack Herman, also from East Regional.
Lisa Turtle.
Yeah? Last name Voorhees, right?
Mark Voorhees. Spelled differently.
Oh,
Lisa Turtle. Hot.
yeah.
Into Lisa Turtle.
And it's another name for a type of business. Lisa Turtle. That was some Jack Doyle humor coming out. Anyways, I was originally going to give my award to Bangaliers.
That's a good investment because turtles live forever. So like you could really make some money off
You
of
want a
turtles.
Lisa Turtle for the weekend? Why not? Okay. Could have been Luis Torrens, who I've always liked. And maybe he's the next catcher for kind of when catchers break out a couple years late, like him.
Alvarez did get hit on the hand
What's that?
in a rehab start.
Jesus, I hate
Yeah,
that, dude.
I don't know what happened. Mets fans, let us know.
What a nightmare. A lot of pitchers did really well, but screw them pitchers. Hey, Dodgers, you guys do get the Dodgers treatment. You won the World Series last year. You're amazing every year. That some episodes you're right. We do just go golf clap. You guys are really good. A guy who's been highlighted a couple times this year that I wanted to give more love to was Andy Pages. Andy Pages, Trev, where's he from?
Cuba.
You're damn right he is. And he this year for the Dodgers has been the throw-in name. Like when you're talking about the Dodgers this year, you're like, oh, it's the 3 Hall of Famers, usually Teoscar, Muncy since he got the glasses. Everyone ends the conversation with Andy Pages because he has 23 homers, 75 RBI, 13 stolen bases, playing the outfield, mostly center for them. And he's just a really good baseball player. He's been a huge part of the Dodgers' offensive success this year. If you look at the leaderboard, the Dodgers are near the top in every category. And Monday he had a 2-homer game for them. So I don't know. I think Pages gets hurt. I mean, Will Smith, how good has he been this year? That also, like, I think there's a James Outman hangover that James Outman came up and we're like, who is this young outfielder who's a linebacker that's a stud? That Pages kind of took his spot, and we were like, oh, okay, so the Dodgers just create center fielders now. Really good ball player. We're going to be seeing him in October. He's 24, and in his second year, he's putting up a real strong season.
Thank God James Outman got out of LA and now is in Minneapolis.
Is he playing
upgrade.
is he playing for you guys? Oh.
Pages doing wonders out there defensively in the outfield as well. 96 percentile, outs above average. His arm strength is off the charts, which you'd expect from a Cuban ball player. Name a Cuban ball player with a bad arm.
Wow.
Can't.
Wow, that's a fun game. Okay. We'll get research on that. The worst Cuban arm ever. Stuff.
I had this guy lined up, and we did not mention him on the way through. He's a Cleveland Guardians starting pitcher, Parker Messick.
I got Parker.
You threw him in there a little bit. Just a sick changeup, like just looks like a lefty pitcher, and I love that for him. So Guardians, good job. And he's had 2 really nice starts to start his career.
Trev, it could have been a lot of cats. That Texas massive game that happened, Devers, Mickey Gasper again mentioned. Christian Walker had 2 homers against Colorado. And there's so many good pitching performances. I'm hoping we're going to see a lot of these guys on in Fuego.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
And Fuego brought to you by Corona. Trev, tell them about it.
Bob, just real quick, need you to produce something for me. Please just get the Mickey Gasper post-game interview up. We got to play it. It's
God
for the
damn it.
kids. We need it. We need more Mickey Gaspers in this world. And when you get it, just let us know, please. I'll start in Fuego with this series where Ozzy Albies, if you don't follow Ozzy Albies Fish Instagram,
Yeah,
you need to. It's my
crazy.
favorite one I do follow. 5 for 14, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 9 runs driven in for him. Rafael Devers, you mentioned, getting going. 6 for 11 with 2 homers, 6 runs driven in. He had his first 5 or more RBI game with the Giants and first career game with 4 more hits and 5 or more RBIs. He became just the 3rd Giant since 2015 to have at least 3 hits, leave the bat at 106 miles per hour or more. So he's hitting the shit out of the ball. Earmuffs. Adolis Garcia has been great. He had a small little IL stint, but since coming back from them, he's been great. 7 for 14 in the series, 3 doubles and a homer. Mike Yastrzemski doing it out there in Kansas City. They're playing good ball, Jake. They're playing good ball. 4 for 9 in the series, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 runs driven in for him. For the week, how about a Jared Triolo sighting?
Ooh, Tree.
11 for 22 on the week, a double, a triple, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in. Jorge Polanco, he's got the bat going again. That's awesome for Seattle. 8 for 18, 2 doubles, 2 homers. He recorded his first 20-homer season since 2021. Harrison Bader, my fingerprints are all over in Fuego.
True.
12 for 21, 3 doubles, a triple, a homer, 2 runs driven in. He's 9 for 17 versus the Mets this season. A majestic homer in a losing effort against the Mets. George Springer, 12 for 27. His season is magical. Gotta love it for him. 3 homers, 5 runs driven in on the week. He had his 28th career multi-homer game, the 7th most among active players. He's slugging .804 over his last 14 days. That's the best in Major League Baseball. He's put 5 balls in play at an exit velocity over 110 over his last 14 days. That's also tied for the most in Major League Baseball. How about Dylan Beavers?
Sure.
7 for 19, 3 doubles, a homer, 3 runs driven in. He's reached base in 9 of his first 10 games in the majors. Dylan Beavers, Baltimore. Let's go, people. That's who's in Fuego. Jake, bringing the episode down a little bit.
Do we got Beavers in the stands in Baltimore yet? Because why not?
Oregon State?
Why not? Yeah.
Adley Rushman tackled Christian McCaffrey.
Full circle.
Next Twins catcher, Adley Rushman.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors circling about that. How about George Springer? Have a year, dude. And also, I'm happy Giants fans are getting to see Rafael Devers play well because that's what they asked for. Before I bring it down, I'll bring it up a little bit with Corona. You want to know what I love the most about baseball? Kicking back, ordering some Coronas, and enjoying the ride together. The final days of summer are here, and then it's postseason ball. And that's what I like about Corona. I mean, it kind of turns anywhere into a beach, sure. But if it's October, November, December, actually that's probably when you want to turn wherever you are into a beach. Go ahead. Turn the cheap seats into your own private island with some ice-cold Coronas. The official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Crack open a Corona, squeeze in a lime, and enjoy America's favorite pastime with Mexico's favorite present time. Get yours. OrderCorona.com. 21 plus. Enjoy responsibly. Corona Extra Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. These guys are struggling. Oh, first Mickey Gasper. Yes.
I mean, my dad always told me to act like you've done it before, so even though it was my first one, I just, Mickey Mantle puts his head down and runs around the bases, and Mickey Gasper should too.
Well, they're in the 9th inning, 2 outs. You got 2 on. Luke
Trev.
Mitchell just misses the whole
I mean,
I don't know how many timeouts we've got left. I might burn them all. Rob, put that man back on the screen.
it's so good. It's so good.
Minnesota has their catcher. Are you kidding me? I would bet my life savings he manages the Twins one day. I would bet everything I have.
He'll be my bench coach.
That's right. You don't want to do the grind. Mickey Gasper is the grind.
You're totally right. I'm such a loser now.
That guy manages the team. Rob, mark it down for 40 years from now. Mickey Gasper is managing the Minnesota Twins.
That's just a great quote. Just more kids need to see that.
Where did you find this guy?
Yeah.
Done it before, so even though it was my first one, I just, Mickey Mantle puts his head down and runs around the bases, and Mickey Gasper should too.
So I don't know where he's from yet. I'm going to guess.
I got it up.
You know? Okay. Mickey Gasper is from, Ohio.
East Coast Pop, New Hampshire. Wow. Merrimack, New Hampshire. Went to Merrimack High. Went to Bryant in Rhode Island. He got drafted by the Yanks. 27th round of the 2018 draft out of Bryant University.
I was going to guess Jersey if I went East Coast. I was getting some mixed signals from him, and it's because he's from New Hampshire. Wow.
New Hampshire. Red Sox took him in the 2023 Rule 5 draft.
Oh, my God.
That's a different guy without the mustache.
Different guy without the mustache.
Pretty handsome.
I like what he's bringing to the table.
Traded by the Boston Red Sox to the Twins on Christmas Eve of 2020.
Sorry to the Gaspers. Hey, is our son going to play for the Sox right down the street? Nope. He's the next manager of the Twins.
On Christmas Eve. We're doing trades on Christmas Eve. What are we doing?
Bro, that is the definition of like the kid in class who asked the first question just to shut up the rest of the class because they don't know what they're doing. So they participate early on. That's just a GM being like, you guys think I don't work hard? I traded Mickey Gasper on Christmas Eve.
Like Giovanni Moran and Mickey Gasper, you had to make that trade ASAP. Like, what?
We couldn't wait till the second. It's a great point, Trevor.
Take the week off.
It's a great point. That's insane. Anyways, batters who are struggling.
Hey man, you've been struggling lately. It's time to pick it up.
I'll be high and tight for the Gaspers. This is to get all these guys off of here. We got some youth. We got one legend, and one in between. Logan O'Hoppe, 2 for 26. Woof. Saw him hit a no-homer the other day, so maybe that gets him going, but 077 is bad. Xavier Edwards, 4 for 50. My goodness, and he's a contact guy. 080 over the last 14 days. That's the second lowest, I'm guessing, to O'Hoppe. Isaac Collins in a 4 for 33. Interesting. Big win versus loss splits from him, which a lot of players do have. It is a stat that fascinates me because you'll get a couple reverse guys every year. But and then the stud, Jose Ramirez in a 5 for 39. So maybe Cleveland taking that series is a little more impressive. Struggling against the starting pitchers. How about that? And Masataka Yoshida, going to be interesting when it comes playing time season in Boston. We did it a lot before the year. He's in a 5 for 33 and 062 against relievers the last 2 weeks. So it's always to get those guys off. And maybe they'll be in Fuego next week. The other bummer part of the show, but it's informative, people. It's the IL. And oh my God. We got a lot of bodies. My goodness. In your Milwaukee pen, we mentioned McGill. Also Grant Anderson, who's been out there a lot for them. Reed Garrett for the Mets. Randy Rodriguez for San Francisco. The relievers, man. We're dropping like flies out here. Romano, Vesia, Ashcraft. Also the big one earlier in the week was Nathan Eovaldi to go along with Jamison Tyone. Dick Fitz for Boston. Jacob Lopez for the A's. Not Jacob Lopez. We love him. Let's see. Luis Robert, who put together a couple stretches. Corey Seager for Texas. No. Appendectomy. What? Victor Caratini in Houston. But when guys go on the IL, either someone gets called up or someone comes off. And coming off the IL, Kike Hernandez, you know where he's going to be come October. Like, just get ready for him hitting 8th for the Dodgers and hitting a home run and a double. Michael Massey back for Kansas City. We love that swing. We like Jordan's better, though. He's back for Houston. Kyle Bradish came back and shoved. Should have given him a little love. We love when Kyle's being Bradish out there. Fernando Cruz for the Yanks. O'Neal Cruz for Pittsburgh. Nick Lodolo for Cincinnati. We always mention Rob Refsnyder in this house to mash lefties. And Justin Slayton, who could change things in that Boston bullpen. So, that is who is back. We are so back. And it's time to start everyone's Labor Day weekend.
Awards!
And it's brought to you by SeatGeek. Make sure you guys go out and get yourself some tickets to go see your team play. SeatGeek, they're the #1 rated ticketing app in the world. In the world. So go out, go watch your team play, go to a concert, go to anywhere that SeatGeek is, and that's anywhere with a seat. Go see some of these studs play ball. And with code TALKIN2025, you can save yourself 10% at SeatGeek. Download the app, whether you have it, whether you don't. TALKIN2025, save yourself 10% off. Trev, I'd love to know where your award's going. Although I've hinted at it all episode.
Yeah, you have. One quick note. I just saw a video Pitching Ninja put out about Aroldis Chapman. We talked about him earlier in the episode about how just fantastic he's been. He should be a top 5 AL Cy Young vote getter, which would be really cool to have like Crochet win it and then him also be in the top 5, like start, close. Awesome. He said that Connor Wong on the pitch comm said fastball inside to Aroldis Chapman, and Aroldis Chapman has never thought to spot his fastball. He just threw it.
Why would he?
And he said he started to think about spotting his fastball, and the command issues went away. What? That's not a real story.
I don't know if we talk about that, Trev, because we're gonna get angry at pitchers.
Aroldis Chapman has a 10-year run coming, people. He's spotting his fastball. Look.
Hey, we do the sneaky, like we talked about Bregman, how Bregman's probably going to be like a Justin Turner and be knocking it around when he's 40, 42. Chappie could be one of those guys that pushes it to like 48 if he wants.
If he wants, yeah. I think he does want.
And I think he does.
Do you know what he really wants? Mama's milk.
Honk his grandma's horns. That's the craziest video of the year. Was that this year or last year?
I think so. I think it was last year. Speaking of that, I'm giving out the Sinful Award.
Oh. Get sinful for me. Get sinful for me, Trevor.
Thank you.
Last March.
As you guys know,
yeah,
they're not the Oakland A's anymore. They're not the Sacramento A's anymore.
Oh.
But eventually they will be the Las Vegas A's. And I don't know if you know this, but Las Vegas, one of its nicknames is Sin City.
Sin City.
Now, if you're thinking about sins, you're thinking about the devil and the which I often do. You know, I understand.
Really?
There's a devil out there trying to get you all the time. Be weary.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you
Wow.
gotta watch out for that guy, dude.
Interesting.
You can say no to him. That's the beauty. That's the beautiful part about all that. But his number is what?
666.
Yeah, it's the mark of the beast, Jake. You ever seen The Omen, the original Omen?
Yes, that's when I was still watching
God,
scary movies.
dude.
Yeah.
I think I watched as a kid and just like fucked me up here.
Damn it. Sorry.
Anyway, 666. That's the number we're focusing on right now. The A's eventually be the Las Vegas A's. They've been sneaky good as of late,
dude.
since July 1st, Jake. So we're talking 2 full months now. The 6th best record in all of baseball, 28-20. Since July 1st, the 6th best team ERA at 3.75. Jacob Lopez on the IL now, but twirling that pill up there. Atta boy. Shea Langoliers,
Yes.
since July 1st, the 6th best OPS in baseball at the 1.002. They also have the best OPS in baseball with Nick Kurtz at 1.23. Look, a sweep of the Tigers. You got to talk about the A's, what they've been able to do. Can they get some mother freaking bullpen help? Like just some semblance of a bullpen. We'd be talking about a completely different team and season here. One of the reasons I wanted to bring it up, 666 was great. They sweep. They have the grand slam against Langoliers. Love all that. But this is such a fun team to watch. You got to just watch this team play. You can talk about Brent Rooker. You can talk about Denzel Clark out there. You can talk about Lawrence Butler and some of the stuff that he does out in the base paths. Just like probably the coolest guy in baseball now is Lawrence Butler. You got Jacob Wilson. You got Nick Kurtz, who's the modern day Jim Thome. Like there's so many fun things to watch. Bullpen needs a lot of help. This was the coolest thing I've seen ever.
Whoa.
Luis Severino coming back for them. Throws a simulated game. Faces a couple players. And Mark Kotsay.
Oh, we love it.
Manager steps in the box against live BP. Makes contact.
Yeah.
But like how freaking cool is that? They have Mark Kotsay is such an awesome. Look at this. He's in the box. What an awesome manager to have. A guy that can do this. And man, if you ever get a chance to talk to Kotsay, like you understand like why he is a manager, why he should be a manager. Just an absolute stud. There's so much to like about this A's team. I wish the season went differently. I am gonna be the Las Vegas A's are gonna be my second favorite team in the big leagues.
Okay.
I have my Twins, and then it's gonna be the Las Vegas A's. And I think all these guys at that time are probably gonna be making some money. I'm so curious to see what the hell they're gonna do with all those guys. If they're just gonna start signing them because hey, we got this new stadium, I don't know, man. I'm into them. I'm into the Sin City A's. I'm into it. Wanted to give them a shout out. And you see the Tigers, man. It's pretty good. But they just have so much going for them. And I think we should highlight them a little bit more than we do. So I wanted to.
They hit a rough point of their season where, and it's kind of the timeline you just talked about, where things got ugly and it was like, okay, these are going to be the Athletics this year. They don't have a home, blah, blah, blah. Kurtz, Nick, Big Amish has changed a ton. Bang Jaliers, like you mentioned, what he's doing is historic. And I love when we get an old name on the sheet. Langoliers has 11 homers in August. That ties Gus Zernial in 1952, second most homers by an A's player in August. So put that one in your pipe and smoke it. And yeah, Trev, they are legitimately going to be a threat next year. It's just to what level? Because I think they're going to have enough guys in their lineup to go toe-to-toe with anyone. And like you said, we're starting to see pitching names happen, and that was the original miss. And the easiest thing to change in baseball is your bullpen. So I'm super interested. Soderstrom.
Imagine if they had Mason Miller.
Well, Trev, that's one of those things that if Leo DeVries...
I hate that joke. I'm sorry I made that joke.
Okay.
I instantly regretted it.
That joke is fine now, but in 3 years, if Leo DeVries is one of the guys that they talk about him being, I don't know.
Hated that joke. Shoot.
They're going to beat last year's wins. It feels like they have an identity. Righty, lefty. Something's brewing. People were wondering if it was going to brew this year. I think next year, man, I'm probably going to be talking myself into them. Great award, dude. Devilishly good is what I would say. Trev, I think, and you're going to like this. It's been a silly one. It's end of summer. We're losing our minds. I'm giving out the only one that made it award. Trev, you realize every human can say that they are the one that made it.
Yeah.
You know? That first race we all ran. Swimming against your siblings, kind of.
Do you think we knew? Like, we're the fastest one here.
Right. Any clue? You had to have some clue what's going on? I don't know. You know what? I think I've got to leave that. The Padres have been a great team this year. And it is going to be funny as we get towards the end of the year. Schedule matters. The Yankees are playing the Nats and the White Sox right now. Guess what? They're doing pretty well. We're going to have some schedule stuff coming up. And then the fun thing is going to be matchup stuff. Hey, if you play the Red Sox in the playoffs and you're a hitter that struggles against lefties, here's Crochet and Chapman. Your role on the team just changed. That matchups are interesting. Yanks have been bad against all the good teams, except the Mariners. The Yanks are 5-1 versus the Mariners this year. It's interesting. Is that anything or is that luck? Whatever. The San Diego Padres went 1-5 against Seattle this year. And I talked about the talent on both of these teams. This could be a World Series preview. Talent-wise, that's not crazy at all. The one game the Padres won this year, tied game, and who comes up to bat? But it's Freddie Fermin, who the first time I got introduced to Freddie Fermin on the broadcast, they were like, hey, these Royals have another guy who's catching with Salvi, and he's just a really good ball player. That was the introduction. He's just a good ball player. He's not going to flash you with power. I wouldn't say he's necessarily great at anything, but he's a good ball player. Rob, bring up the sack bunt that Freddie Fermin had to win their only game against Seattle this year. It's against Caleb Ferguson, who's a lefty with not the most electric stuff. Caleb's been a big league pitcher for a few years, but, we're 93s, 94s. An up and in fastball, which is where pitchers are told to throw it if you see a bunt there. Although, do they even do that anymore? Do they teach pitchers anything? Okay.
Yeah, cool.
You don't change from a slider.
Listen to anything that anybody says. That's the topic for a different day.
Well, we do this bunting thing a lot, and Freddie Fermin is also good at baseball, but this is the situation. It's 1 out, runners on first and third. Freddie Fermin, who has a decent put it in play tool, could he be a double play ball? Could he strike out? Could he foul out? It's really hard to hit the baseball. Bunting is slightly easier to make contact, depending on the pitcher, maybe. Trev, look at the form. He squares up early. He puts his bat at the top of the zone. He bends his knees. He pulls the bat back instead of stabbing at it. He's bunting with the form that at least I was taught. I didn't get to the levels you got to, Trev. But this was the bunting form that I was taught. I think it can still be taught. I'm not saying bunting's easy. This was the only game the Padres beat the Mariners in 6 baseball games this year. If Freddie Fermin grounds that to JP or someone, it could be a double play ball, and who knows what happens that game. Game ends 7-6. Padres win. It still has a role in the game. Shout out to Freddie Fermin, a good ball player who probably, when he was trying to make it to the bigs, he's like, you know what tool would be good to have in my bag? A bunt if I need it. They needed it, and they won the game.
I love bunts. In those situations, I don't love a sack bunt, all those different things. I like bunts for base hits when you're struggling. I like bunts, runners on first and third with bottom of the order up, maybe a guy that strikes out or a guy that can hit in a double plays. These are all situations that you have to be able to do it. They come up. This is what I think is hilarious about bunting is we go through an entire 162 and rarely ever do it to push runs across. And then we get into the postseason where everybody pairs their pitching down and you ain't going to string together even back-to-back hits, let alone 3 in a row. So you have to be able to move runners or first and third, get guys in. All of a sudden, bunting becomes a super important thing. And you got to practice it during the year. So look, I'm huge on it. I understand that homers mean more. I get it, but it's still baseball, and baseball's a game where there is strategy, and part of that strategy will always involve moving a runner via the bunt. So I'm into it. Freddie Fermin's awesome, and that was if you're able to get a bunt down in a situation like that, kudos to you.
And I just think athletes like to be coached. That, you know what? Nick Kurtz, I don't think he needed to learn how to bunt. I'll be honest. I think Kurtz, what he does, that's fine. Almost every young baseball player, like the fact they don't coach it at all, Trev, it just really, it gets to me, man. Because at some point, you could be the guy hitting 8th on an MLB team. Pretty much everyone would love to get to that spot. Practice it a little bit. Have good fun. Dude, there's some times now you see a guy square to bunt and you're like, oh no. Like, don't do it. It's like, please don't do it. And I don't know. Guys want to be coached. Analytics.
Can I tell you the best? You have to bend the knees. You have to bend your knees. And then you have to have the barrel above the knob. That is it. Fermin was close there. Got the job done. Barrel above the knob. That is all you have to remember. And then it's not a stab, not really that either. It's just loose top hand.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I think Fermin got a tough pitch to bunt on. It was a fastball up and in, but the fact he started at the top of the zone, was able to almost get out of the way and deaden it, won the game. We'll come at analytics more another time, / every episode. It's just a segment we do. You guys are the best. Enjoy Labor Day weekend. No Monday. Bobby posted a vlog. Go watch that. Me and Jam at the MLB Network studios.
Jake sucks.
I hope your team wins.
I hope you grill some meat for Labor Day. Or if you're a vegetarian, grill a portobello mushroom.
Any secrets to that? I don't think I've ever grilled a portobello.
I think you just do it like a steak.
Okay. Just treat it the same.
Salt, a little sear. I love a mushroom. Oh, in more ways than one.